Music, music, music. Breathe, breathe, breathe.
Hello, my name is Aloe Blacc. I live in Los Angeles, and I'm an MC. I live in reality. I live in real life. I don't live in a studio. I'm always coming up with some different melody, tune, words, whatever.
He has so many styles. There's not a style that this man cannot do.
Songs can come in any form, any direction. There's rhythm in everything.
Aloe Blacc is a legend.
As an artist, he's just incredible. There's no stopping him.
Aloe's the kind of guy who just gets out there and impresses the 5 people as well as he'd impress 5,000. He can obviously write songs, he can rap, he can sing.
Who's doing that?
He doesn't have any flaws.
He's ahead of his time.
This is Aloe Blacc, and you're watching my episode of The Craft.
Kicks out in the back of the beat.
Aloe Blacc doing a live here on FBI 94.5 FM. We don't get enough singers in here, man. We get these people rapping away, but not enough.
Sometimes I feel like singing, sometimes I feel like rhyming, and sometimes I feel like doing both. I think music impacted me early on. I was probably about 4 years old, and hip-hop was affecting me at that time. I didn't really understand it as hip-hop. It was just the music that we used to dance to. But within a year or two, I started to recognize the difference between, oh, my neighbor, she wears all black and listens to strange music. And, you know, the guys that I dance with, we wear different colors and parachute pants, and we listen to this kind of music. So yeah, I started to recognize, okay, there are different styles, different genres, and this is what I like. Music started in high school. Well, before high school. It started in elementary school. I was writing lyrics since 9 years old. And I just kept writing. Into junior high, I was writing rap, trying to start a group with a couple of my schoolmates. Went into high school, still writing rap songs, and one of my good friends introduced me to DJ Exile. He was like, this is a DJ, he's looking for an MC to make some beats for. So we met at a Denny's parking lot or something like that. He was beatboxing, I was rapping, and it was like a match, you know, that lasts till today. It's you know, over a decade now.
Yo, do you know Aloe? You know Eminem? They're dope.
Working with Exile was the first time I had a chance to write rhymes and have beats to record. Exile had the equipment. He had the 4-track, the sampler, and all the vinyl to sample the drum loops and the instrumentation. I didn't have any of that stuff. All I had was a notepad and a pen. I would just go to his house. He'd have beats ready for me to rhyme on. I'd either come with lyrics already written or write lyrics. Eventually, Exile moved to Oregon, and he left some of his equipment with me, so I was making my own beats at that time, learning the whole production system. And I got a computer, and I started making music on the computer using programs. So the reason why I could continue to work with Exile is just because it was a natural bond from the beginning. And since I had learned how to produce myself, I didn't feel like I needed any other producer. Kind of like Gangstar, Guru, and Premier. Pete Rock, CL Smooth, it works. So, Aloe and Exile.
Arriba, los manos, y baile!
There's a lot of Latin influence in the music that I make. It's because my parents are Panamanian. And when I create my music, I've always got that rhythm in it. Sometimes you can't tell that it's in there, but somewhere hidden in the early foundations of the song is very Latin. For me, it helps drive the movement of the song. I love it. When I see people dancing or moving in a certain way, I know they're picking up on it subconsciously. They may not be able to explain it, but I can explain it. I know why they're doing it. I can see it, you know. I know why I put it in there. When I ended up going to college, I went to USC. My parents definitely wanted me to just have a really good education. And USC actually offered me a full tuition scholarship because I did really well in high school. I studied communication, and along the way I picked up another major, linguistic psychology. It was an interdisciplinary major. I was really interested in neuroscience. I wanted to take the neuroscience major, but they didn't have it. They only had a minor. And I figured if I'm going to do another program, I might as well pick up a degree. I graduated with a degree in communication and a degree in linguistic psychology. And now I'm an MC. And I'm using, as an MC, I'm using my communication skills and I'm using my psychology skills and linguistic skills. It all comes in handy. Studying at USC gave me the chance to live in Los Angeles and be part of the Los Angeles music community. Exile and I would perform at spots like the Root Down. We'd rub shoulders with Droop at a club in LA, and either open for him or perform after him or something. And at USC I got a chance to meet Ed Ma, who recorded our first EP, well, the second EP, and On. He helped us record it, mixed it, and everything. I characterize hip-hop as being a young man's tool for magnifying his ego. For the most part, I think most MCs come into hip-hop as the best MC, at least in his or her mind. So I felt like, I'm not that big of an egoist. I have other ideas, other concepts, and other feelings, and I'd like to express those.
One of the biggest reasons that I like working with him, the longevity, I think, has been there because of his professionalism.
He's a hands-on kind of guy. He learned how to produce, he learned how to play instruments, and he started off strictly as an MC.
Because he is highly intelligent, the way he attacks things is very calculated.
He's able to have his own studio, his own gear, play all his own lines, have his own keyboard. He don't have to depend on nobody else to make his process work.
I had to see where he does all this. And when I saw a laptop, a boombox, and a mic in between his jackets, and a little curtain that he puts around himself when he's on the mic, it blew me away.
I think because of his musical background, he's had enough vocabulary to speak with us and flowed with that kind of thing. It's refreshing.
He's also the kind of guy who doesn't have a terribly distraught, depressed personality. He's a very buoyant, happy person. To make up for his inability to put some sort of incredible pain and depression on wax, he just tries anything to see if it'll work. And what's exciting for me working for the record company that releases the music is I know that the guy's willing to take chances, and I'm not scared to throw something crazy out to him that might sound ludicrous, because I don't think he's going to laugh at me. I think he's going to take me seriously.
First and foremost, I'm an MC. I started singing because there were stories, ideas, concepts that I wanted to present, but I couldn't do it in rap form. In hip-hop, you're gonna have 8 to 10 words per bar, and when you're singing, you can have 2 or 3 to 4. Ideas would come to me, and I would pen them. And I was affecting myself. It was coming up with ideas that made me feel emotions that I hadn't felt as an MC. And I started to realize, wow, I can affect people in a much more direct way singing than rapping. I wanted to record these ideas. I wanted to put them in a project that I could share with my fans or with new fans. And that's when I was courted by Stone's Throw. They heard some of the singing that I was doing and they took a chance. Shine Through started in about 2003. I had gone on a tour in Europe and met, members of the Stone's Throw camp. Ono, DJ Rome's, Metaphor, Wild Child, so the Loop Pack, and came home and started working on beats that Ono gave me. And those are the songs that Stone's Throw ultimately heard and thought, oh, okay, well, we were thinking about going in this direction a little bit, so let's see if he'll record a single for us. And if it goes well, then we'll release an album. And that's what worked out. Shine Through ended up being a culmination of music that had already been recorded and some music that I made specifically for this album. We put all that stuff together and released in 2006. Like most of the guys that I know, we don't spend a lot of money in the studio. We're not used to going into the studio to record because it feels a little bit too clinical. It feels separated from how we make music and why we make music. So I recorded Shine Through right here at Monmouth. I was just in my bedroom with my microphone, my guitar, my trumpet, my keyboard, making the beats, making the music, recording the music, mixing the music, and then from there, taking it to Kelly Hibbert at the studio for mastering. I wanted to have a gravity to it, some weight, some grit. If you record in the bedroom, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get essence, you're gonna get ambiance, and there's something in it. There's something about those extra sounds that are in an album. I want it in there so you can feel it, and it can touch you subconsciously, possibly. You know, I don't want my music to sound too pristine, too clean, because you lose the essence of the movement, you know, the anticipation.
Tell me, how does it feel?
I guess the creation of a song, it's gonna come to me in a melody or in words. Usually a song comes to me in a daytime while I'm driving or doing something, and I'll just grab my camera and record it, because if I don't record the melody, I might forget what the melody was or the cadence and how I place things. Every string of words has a melody that corresponds to it. So I'll start with the melody, and then I'll create around that melody the music, the instrumentation, and create the beat, put it in the computer, and then ultimately it becomes a final project. I get a lot of comments from people about, my album helping them through situations, and I think that's great. I mean, maybe I was able to tap into that empathetically before whatever it is that happened to them. Just grab it out of the universe and put that healing into song form. I'm not sure. I can get metaphysical about it, but I don't have the answers. I just have the words, that's all. The future of my music, I guess, is multi-varied because I've got all different kinds of projects I'm working on, instrumental projects, projects where I'm emceeing, projects where I'm doing all a cappella, just continuing to make good music and writing songs for other people. I don't necessarily care to be the artist on stage, always having to push a new project. Sometimes I want to just be the guy who writes the song and gives it to someone who can sing it better than I can, who can present it better than I can. I want things to be useful. I want my music and my talents to be useful for the sake of mankind. So that's what I plan to do. That's what hopefully I can do with my music and my art.
I've been searching for my soul.